Damon Martin MMA fighting here with the greatest strawweight fighter in history, former UFC strawweight champion, and now she is making her return to action June 11th, UFC 275. Cannot wait for this one. I am always happy to speak to Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Joanna, how are you?
Hello, Damon. Good, great to see you, and it's good to be back to camp and fighting soon. So, all good, happy, and ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely. We've talked a lot over the last couple of years. Is it exciting to be able to talk about a fight again?
Oh yeah, it is. Actually, it's good to be in camp and feel all these emotions, being tired, banged. It's so good. But it's good to be on a mission, and it's just amazing. I feel amazing. I had my first sparring session today. First sparring session of the camp, like the real one, tactical, and it's great. I just can't wait to put more in work and be on fire June 11th in Singapore.
Absolutely. I know when we spoke before, you wanted to come back a little sooner, and there was concern about whether or not Zhang Weili would be ready. There were some delays,
Yeah.
things like that. Were you ultimately okay with June in terms of timing? I know you wanted to fight sooner, but were you okay now that you got the fight you wanted?
I don't know where we spoke for the last time. Was it like January,
Yeah,
February,
I think it
or
was like January, February.
yeah?
Yeah.
So I was planning to be back in March, but then I was like, okay, you haven't fought for 2 years. It doesn't make a big difference if you will be back at the end of March or later on. So I'm actually very happy because I've done like a pre-camp. I went home last week for 9 days after 2 months in Florida, and I have more now. I have less, around 7 weeks, but I had like 7.5 weeks to really prepare. But it's going to be 4 or 5 months in total preparing for this fight with Weili Zhang. So you can imagine that I'm going to be probably in the best shape ever. I will do my best. My weight is super low, and I just can't wait. I'm super happy, and I just can't wait.
Was there ever, we talked a lot about, when you weren't, even without a fight book, you were training. Like you were still coming over to American Top Team and training occasionally.
Man,
You were
like
training at home.
October. In October, I felt like the universe was trying to save me some, and I was like, no, I need to be back. I want to be back, and I made this decision. And uh, honestly, I've been preparing for this upcoming fight with Whaley since October. Because if when I put something in my head, I have to do it. I'm this crazy person. I have to do it, and it's happening very, very soon.
Yeah. Was there ever, like, frustration might be the wrong word, but was there ever a point where the training or just being in the gym, because I know you love training, I know you love getting ready, but when there's not a date, when you're
Yeah.
training and there's not, like, did it ever get, like, burned out, or did you lose motivation at all when you don't have that date, that opponent? Did that ever happen to you?
No, actually, that's funny because in the middle of, I don't know, February, everyone in the gym was asking me. They were asking me when I'm fighting because I was training really hard. So no, but I was enjoying my time in Florida a little bit more. So I knew that I didn't have to go to bed early because I need to be well rested the next day. But honestly, I was training from 11 to 13 times a week in my pre-camp. That time I didn't know about the fight, but no, no, it's all about balance, man. But that's good. But it just helped me to be better shape starting the camp right now. So yeah.
Does it feel like, it's a weird question because you're always so busy, Joanna? You're always doing a million things, but does it feel like it's been 2 years since you fought?
No, it doesn't feel like 2 years. It feels like, I don't know, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, but even not, because I was so busy, focus on doing things and training as well. And no, actually, I feel like I'm more happy doing things in the gym, and I feel the fire. really, I'm very happy after my first sparring session, but I'm very humble, and I want to go back to the gym on Tuesday for my second sparring session of this camp, and be even more fierce, more into. So no, I know I've been going for a while, but doesn't make a big difference, you know. I will do my best to be the best shape ever, and put on hell of a performance, and give fight of the year for the second time. That's it.
Absolutely. Is it there is a positive side though, right, Joanna, when you take a little time off because you're so busy in terms of the fight. Like when you were champion,
Yeah.
you were just boom, 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 fight, 2, 3 times a year, one fight right into the next, all those kind of things. Like in a weird way, because you're a veteran, you've been around. Was it good? Like now that you're back in a fight camp, you've got a date, you got an opponent. But was it good looking back that you actually did get a break? Because you don't normally get that. Fighters rarely get a chance just to
Yeah.
breathe. Like take a vacation,
Yeah.
just relax a little bit.
Yeah, when I was the champ, I was always on the go, and I remember when I broke my hand in 2015 in Australia, Berlin in Australia, and I just wanted to get clear by the doctors and be back to camp. And I was like, okay, 2 weeks of vacation is enough. Like, I mean, like being without training, and like, no, we have to go back. And I used to say that there was no pressure, that I felt no pressure, but there was tons of pressure. Now I can say I don't feel pressure, and people think, yeah, you need to get this victory. Bullshit! I don't need to do. I need to just be the best shape ever. The hard work, time for hard work is now. The time in the octagon, the time of the fight is a pleasure. It's fun, and but anything and everything can happen. But yeah, there's tons of pressure now. I don't feel pressure, and I feel like my body is well rested. That's why my weight is so low. Maybe my hormones, because of I was always on the go, always on diet, always cutting weight. Now I feel better, and I feel like my body is getting this totally different way.
Yeah,
Of
I love
course, I'm
hearing that.
tired, I'm banged, but because of the camp, and I forgot how it is to be in the camp, that sometimes you feel so ran out of energy, and you have to nap in the middle of the day. But honestly, no, I'm happy, and I feel like my body is just stronger, and my mind as well.
Yeah. A big part of our conversation in several interviews when you were away was talking about, your future in terms of your UFC contract, your relationship with the UFC, and you've always maintained a great relationship with Dana White, a great relationship with the UFC. But can I ask, going into this fight, where are you at with the UFC in terms of your contract?
With the new deal.
New deal.
Yes, it is.
So tell me all the details. Tell me all the secrets here, Joanna. What's going
I
on?
don't know what I can tell you. Like, it's a multiple fight deal, or multiple fights deal. Yeah. So yeah, it is. Here
So
we go.
done deal. So done deal. Joanna is
Yes,
got
it
a new
is.
deal with the UFC.
Yeah, I always said this, that I want to retire in the UFC, and of course, uh, people would love to see me doing this or that after. But I feel like if I retired from MMA, I want to retire from here, from with the UFC, the best MMA league in the world. And if I retire, I don't want to go somewhere and fight for this bigger money. Money is not everything. I saved enough money for myself, my kids, my grandkids, probably. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's not only about the money. You need to have this pride in you, to, and like, you have to know what to do, how to prioritize. How you say this word?
Prioritize. Yeah, prioritize. Yeah.
Prioritize some things. And yeah, this is what I'm trying to do, trying to be smart. It's good that I have Dan Lambert, Jennifer Goldstein, my CAA management. We had a few conversations before. Of course, the negotiations weren't easy, took time, but I've met in the middle with the UFC, with Hunter and Dana. I'm very thankful. But I'm surrounded by good people, Jennifer, Dan. Very, very grateful to have these people. And
This I
finally,
know.
I'm back to the octagon, man. That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
I promise
Because
I'm
like
not.
this is what you have to, like, if you start because all of the opportunities I have outside the gym and outside the octagon, and the money I can make isn't easy, because I have to work my ass so hard. But somehow you need this extra motivation to be back to the octagon. I just can't go there and get my face beat up again, for little money and for no exposure, etc., etc. So there have to be something extra beside the love and the desire I have to this sport, because I feel like I'm still one of the greatest in the strawweight division, and I just want to go there and prove that June 11th.
Absolutely. Here I am. I'm going to play therapist for you, Joanna. But in all seriousness, like when you get the contract done, are you happy? Are you happy with everything the way it played out?
Isn't bad. In the business, there are always two sides or more sides. I'm happy where I'm at right now, because of it's not only about the money I can get for the fight, but also some bonuses and some exposure, and how I can make some ways to make it work, so I can get more connections, more business relationships. And this is how I look at when every sponsorship deal I sign, I don't look only at the numbers, I look at the exposure, how much money they want to invest, where they want to put my face, my body, if it's going to be billboard, TV, media exposure, I always calculate and see these things. It's not only about the zeros, also about the investment from the other side. So I'm very happy where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Is there, you've been very honest. I remember when I came down to American Top Team, a few years ago to visit you, and you were very honest with me back then in saying that, there is a finite timeline on every fighter. You can't fight forever. You love fighting, but there's going to be a moment where you move on to do other things, start a family, all those kind of things you got going on. Is there a chance, and again, I'm not going to make you say 100% certainty, but is there a chance this could be your last contract?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's 6 fights deal. So yeah, for sure. But this fight is not going to be my last fight, and the second and the third. I don't know what's going to happen, man. I feel second win. I'm turning 35 this year, and wow, I never felt so good, man.
Yeah,
physically, mentally, I'm just happy and I used to not I used to be on the go, and I used to not sit and with my legacy. But now, I approached a lot in my life. My sports legacy is so big, and some people are still saying that I'm not the champion anymore. Okay, but I've been there and I know my value. And this is amazing, That's why I feel pure now, going into this camp and fight. But somehow, I love Florida. I love American Top Team. I love Dan Lambert and all of these people. And it feels like, I don't want to leave, I want to spend more time here, train, be around these people and fighting.
And the beaches aren't bad either, Joanna. Let's be honest. The beaches in Florida are not bad.
Now. It's raining right now, but the beaches are nice.
Yeah. It's funny to say this, but in all seriousness, when I go back, before we talked today, I went back and watched the first fight with you and Weili, because I hadn't watched it in a little while and I wanted to be fresh, going into our conversation today. Yeah. And I still marvel at that performance. It's an incredible fight. One of the greatest fights in the history of sport. But when I watch that fight, I start to understand even better some of the points you made about, looking towards the future when you look at, what you're worth and what your value is, because I love it. I love that fight. Everyone loves that fight. But I also understand the physical, the demand of going through a fight like that takes years off your life, it feels like. You know what I mean? You're putting your body on the line for our entertainment. Yeah. You should be compensated for that, you know?
Yeah. And the hard work is so many weeks before the fight, like I said, the fight is a pleasure, but it's a hard, it's it's a hard part, as well. We get lots of damage, and every fight, every camp, and every fight takes something from us, physically, mentally, and we have to know our value. And I said so long because I set my new goals and for myself to protect myself, and but I feel like the next fight is going to be even better. I know where I did so many mistakes and what mistakes I've made in this fight, and I'm just looking forward.
Yeah. Now, rewatching it, Joanna, and I told you this before, and you can go back and listen to any other interviews I've done or talked about your fight. I said I thought you won the fight. I mean, it was a good fight.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
Thank
Zhang
you.
had an incredible performance, but I thought you won. Now, that was a 5-round war. I know this one right now is scheduled for 3 rounds. I know you put on Twitter that you would be willing to do 5. Now, can I throw this out at you, Joanna? I think this would be a tremendous 5-round fight for a rematch, but here's the small thing I want to say. If they want to make it 5 rounds, shouldn't you get paid more for 5 rounds? Like, that's my thing. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Of course. It's 66% more time to spend in the octagon. If I do, of course, 5 rounds fight instead of 3. So yeah, definitely. We will have to negotiate that because I can fight. I want to fight 5 rounds. Let's see. Let's check UFC position and Weili Zhang position, because a month ago she turned it down, the fight. She didn't want me to fight, and now we're fighting. So let's see. I don't know if she wants to go 5 rounds with me. I don't know this, but I'm ready to do this.
Yeah,
but of course, we will spend. So then you have to change your sparring, your training a little bit. You have to put more effort in it, and like I said, we will spend more time in the octagon, putting our health and lives online. So definitely, we have to get paid a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the thing that gets missed a lot because when I put out the tweet, everyone's like, oh man, we want it to be 5 rounds. And I'm like, I agree, but let's remember, let's remember to add like an extra 0 to that paycheck if you're going to do a 5-round fight, because that's a lot more. Like, I think people forget, like, that's not just 5 rounds in the fight. That's the extra rounds you're doing in the gym. The damage you're putting on your body, that's a lot. That's a lot of work. You know what I mean, for the same paycheck. Like, get you a little more money, 5 rounds. So you're open to 5 rounds, but just spread a little extra cash there, maybe.
Yes, of course.
Now,
we're negotiating, so we will see.
Yeah,
because I know that Dana said so many weeks ago. Yeah, I'm open to it, and I know that Dana said that they would love to work on it, and we'll see. We're just waiting on the response. Let's see.
Yeah, is there any part of you that isn't sure? Maybe Weili doesn't want 5 rounds. Is that any part of it too?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
And to be clear, when I say getting paid, both of you should be getting paid. Like I said, that should be both of you for a 5-round fight. Like both of you should be getting paid.
We both deserve this, and I would not put on the fight of the year in 2020 without Weili Zhang, and this is what I said so many interviews before, years ago, that I always try to bring it up, I get motivated by my opponents, and I'm trying to motivate them to be better and put on these hell of a fights every time. And that's the thing, because when you watch my opponent with different opponent, the fights are not that spectacular,
Yeah.
Always.
Let me ask this, Joanna. As I said, I just went back and rewatched the fight earlier today because, again, I wanted to get ready to talk to you because I hadn't watched it in a little while. Have you gone back more recently and watched it, or do you just leave that to Mike Brown and Cattell Kubas? Like, do you still or will you go back and rewatch it before the fight again?
I have to. Mikey wanted to force me to watch it yesterday, but one of my coaches left, and we all to be on the same page. So definitely today or tomorrow I will watch the fight again, sit with my coaches. Mikey just left to Vegas, and then he's going to Kayla Harrison fight. So definitely watch it. Mikey has watched this fight so many times. Katel as well. So of course I trust them, and I will follow their plan. But I need to watch it as well to be 100% on the same page as my coaches. To understand this better.
Yeah. We spoke, I want to say like 2 days or 3 days after the fight when it happened, back in 2020. And, we broke down everything that happened, all the rounds and everything. So I'm not going to ask you to rehash all that. But, as you go into the rematch, can I just ask like a very broad question, which is, what was the biggest, positive and the biggest negative you feel like you took away from that first fight with her as you get ready for the rematch?
I don't know. That I can adapt to the fight. I'm a real warrior. When I step into the octagon, I take this fight. But I know that I have more tools, and I can be better and more smarter fighter in the octagon during the fight. So I don't have to go and exchange only and get this damage. I just need to be more smarter with using my tools, and I will do that this time. So yeah, definitely this fight I feel like is going to be different because sometimes I just took the fight and I should be smarter, and this time I took a big lesson, and I will change this.
Can I pay you one big compliment from that first fight, Joanna? Rewatching it, there was a moment in the fight, and again, I'm not giving away game plan because I'm sure you and your coaches are in the laboratory right now figuring out your game plan. But there was a moment in the fight, I think it was in the second round, maybe the third round. You switched southpaw. You went third. Yeah. It was incredible. Rewatching it, I was just like, because you could see how much it threw her off when you did that, and it changed the dynamic of the fight, because I think that's where you really started to take over the third, and especially in the fifth round.
She scored the most of the punches when she was countering, and with her cross, with her right hand, and we have to make some adjustments, and we're gonna be fine, Yeah,
I love that happened. I love that.
I was staying too much, standing too much in the front of her. I was working on moving more before that fight, but like I said, I'm a warrior, and I took the fight. I went into the battle, into the war, and we are going back and forth. But yeah, I'm just proud of myself. Like I said, I wanna keep on winning. I wanna win my next fight. I wanna keep on winning and fight for the UFC strawweight belt. But Mikey Brown, man. And but I need to be smart as well. More smart.
Can I ask, and I'm not going to ask you to like break everything down, but can I ask like what you thought of Zhang Weili since you fought her in terms of her fights? What have you thought? Like, you're a different fighter than the fighter she's fought, of course, but what have you thought about her since you fought her?
Since I thought that she's very tough, that she has an amazing gas tank. Like she's shorter, she's more muscular, she's very strong. The stuff she posts on social media, and she's similar to Jessica Andrade. But when you face girls like Weili or Andrade, very muscular, you think that they're going to be like very strong, but they're not as strong as they look. And I was surprised how good I was in the clinch, and I'm skinnier and I'm taller during the fight always than the other girls. But I did very well. But I was very impressive how strong mentally she was and she is. Great character, great warrior, and yeah.
Do you right now? We said it before. You're open to 5 rounds, but right now it's a 3-round fight. Do you? And I know you do, but I mean, does that dramatically change your approach to the fight? Knowing it's only 3 rounds right now. Again, this could change, but for right now, does that dramatically alter how you approach a fight? Because it's almost, I won't say it's a sprint, but it's different than what we would consider a marathon in a 5-round fight. 25 minutes is no joke, you know?
Yeah. I've been through so many like championship fights on the championship distance, main events. So for me, it doesn't matter. My guest tank is even better than before, and it's surprising, And no, I'm really not only willing to do this because of fans wanted, but I feel like they deserve. Of course, they deserve this, but I feel like why not? Why not to dance longer, and enjoy this. Of course, I can get more damage in the longer fight distance, but man, I'm willing to do this. I love this sport so much, and I just want to go there and pass the exam. It's an exam.
Yeah.
Fight is an exam, and do this the best way I can do.
Yeah. You've said many times in our conversations, Joanna, that at this stage of your career, it's about big fights, big opportunities. When you were coming back, you said, title fight or Zhang Weili were the fights you most want. I know you also mentioned Carla would be a fight. Of course, now we know she's fighting for the title, but do you look at that's kind of your path right now, Zhang Weili and then the title? I mean, that kind of makes sense, right?
Somehow she's maybe not the gatekeeper, but I know after I beat Weili Zhang, I will get the title shot, and I didn't want to push it to fight Rose Namajunas because I knew that that Carla Esparza was going to be next, and I had to wait a long time. But I just want to fight. Like I said so many months ago, I just want to fight. I just want to fight and fight the best, and it's happening. She's the greatest. She's right there. Weili Zhang is right there.
Yeah. I know we briefly talked about this in our conversation a few months ago, but now that the fight is a matter of days away, I know when you told me you have a lot of respect, of course, for Carla and Rose, but you thought Rose would win that rematch. Now we're a week away. I assume your opinion's the same, but can I ask you again in terms of your pick and how you feel that fight's going to play out basically a week from now?
Oh, I don't like predictions, but I think Rose Namajunas first round, finished.
First round finish. So you think knockout or submission?
I see Carla Esparza shooting and Rose defending the takedown and submitting her, but her footwork and her strikes are so crispy and juicy, and she can knock her out, And I feel like Carla Esparza can handle, but she's the next challenger, pretender for the strawweight belt, and she deserves that, and she's right there at the top. And let's see what's going to happen next week.
Yeah, but first round finish. That's I mean, again, your Rose is that good. I mean, I don't think that's crazy.
She's different. She's different fighter right now. She's different. She has an amazing coach and amazing people around, and she's training really hard. And she's right there. She's the champ. She's the greatest right now, and she's at her prime, and that's nice. It's good to see.
Yeah. We're, years ago in the sport, when we got to rematches, there was a time when a rematch would happen. If you had 2 wins over somebody, you'd think we'll never see a third one. Now, I think we're in a different era now. We look at Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway probably going to fight for a third time, and deservedly so. Max is looking incredible. Do you believe in your heart of hearts, everything? And again, I'm not any way, shape, or form looking past Zhang Weili, but do you believe Rose would face you a third time if that was the opportunity presented to her? Do you think she would fight you for a third time?
I believe yes. And because Rose, she doesn't run away from fights. She knows what does it mean to be the champ. And yeah, perfect plan to fight in Madison Square Garden in November for the belt with Rose Namajunas would be nice to get the revenge there. And but there's so many upcoming prospects, and I'm hearing this all the time. Oh, she doesn't deserve this, that, or him doesn't deserve the rematch. But there's so many upcoming prospects. But when they hit the top 3, top 5, top 3, top 2, they go down, and there's this elite, you know what I mean? And of course it gets changed once in a while, but there's this like, there are these gatekeepers, to the championship fights.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I feel like I'm there, and that's why there's so many rematches, because some of the gatekeepers, they fight the lower ranked fighters, and somehow they test them, if they deserve this to be at the top 3 or not. This is how it is. When you look at the history, you're gonna agree with me, somehow.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny, Joanna, we talk so much about all the things you have going on outside the octagon, all the different things you've done, endorsements, commercials, TV shows. Now that you're back in fight camp, is it fun or weird to like put everything to the side? Because I've been talking to you so much about all the things you're doing outside the octagon, but I know how focused you are. Like, do you just have to put everything to a stop right now, like for the next 7 weeks?
They all know that I'm focused on one thing. This is my first priority, be back, and it's been few months already. I was focused. I have been focused only on my camp and getting better in this upcoming fight. But this is what I said. Like, I used to like start things. Let somebody do this for me. But if you want something to be done good, you have to do it somehow yourself. But it's good because I built a team of good people. I learn on mistakes, on fails, you say. And I feel like I have right people to take care of my businesses, so I can be focused on extending my fighting legacy. And a month ago I launched my supplement company. It's not like the next sponsorship deal. It's my deal because of USADA. We are tested and we can't take all of the supplements. So I want to make sure I'm going to be healthy and safe athlete somehow. So I check all the ingredients, receptors or recipes, and I want to keep an eye on it and give it to people as well. So yeah, I can't wait for what's after the fight, how I will extend the different part of JJ legacy.
I'm always fascinated about what else you have going on. So the fight's June 11th. Everything goes well, you go out and get a big win. How soon do we see the JJ racing circuit start again when you get back into the racing cars? Because I am so fascinated how much you love racing cars.
Yeah, I supposed to do this in April, May, because a month ago I didn't know about the fight. I was training like I was going to fight, sign the deal, start camp, but I didn't know. So I had to push my next race, and after the fight, I will be back to the racing car, and do my next race. I can't wait, man. I'm so motivated to do this, and I'm so excited to do this. So probably July, after the fight, I will be back home. I'm really looking forward to see my fans at International Fight Week in Vegas, beginning of July. So sorry, beginning of July, and be back to Poland and sit in the racing car and do some race.
Now, you love fighting. I know you love fighting, and you don't love racing cars. Do you get more nerves when you step into the octagon or when you get in that race car?
When I get into the race car, because it's still new, but wow, it's amazing. The adrenaline, it's amazing. I can't compare it to fighting. It's totally different. But somehow it's individual sport as well. Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's funny because I think about you racing cars and driving cars, but when you're in Florida, I know you love riding your bike. So I'm trying to picture you like not right. You get like you're not driving crazy around Florida.
No, it's good. I have small Kia, so here I don't have all these crazy power horses like I have in Poland. So here, easy, calm life, chill, sun, palms. So no, here I'm more calm riding my bike or penny board on my slow Kia. So I go crazy when I go back home.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So what you're saying is I need to
I
come to
miss my
Poland to
cars.
see you drive
I
fast.
miss my cars. Yeah, I miss my cars here. But it's good, because when I go home, it's good to miss some things, and I definitely miss my family, my place, my home, and my place is there, my cars. But it's good, life is about different things, but somehow I love the sun. It makes me feel so good, and the speed. But yeah, later.
Do you have now? You may already own it, but I'll ask you: do you have a dream car? Do you have a dream car you'd like to own, or do you already
Yeah,
own it?
when I was a little girl, I always dream about AMG, Mercedes AMG. But now I'm thinking about getting Lamborghini Urus. Actually, I have a picture because last 2 3 weeks ago I went to my friend's like a workshop, so I had a chance to sit in this car and. Why not to get one after the fight,
I have an idea. Now you have incredible representation.
Yeah.
Jennifer takes good care of you, so I don't want to do her
Oh,
job.
yeah.
She does her job. But what about this? UFC makes your fight with Zhang Weili 5 rounds, and as a bonus, they buy you that Lamborghini.
As a bonus, yes, because I can buy this for the money. I will make it even more, but yeah, definitely. I know that back in the day, Dana used to give cars and watches, but it's all about the love I can get and the smile and the nice words from here. But yeah, maybe Lamborghini Urus as a bonus for 5 rounds fight.
There you go. Dana, there you go. You heard. I just
Thanks,
negotiated for
thanks,
you. I
Damon. Easy, cheaper.
Done. Joanna, I love speaking to you. I always appreciate you taking the time. Have an incredible training camp down in
Thank
Florida.
you so much.
I cannot wait to see you back in action in June.
It's still a few weeks, but I feel like we are around the corner. So I will see you soon. I hope you're coming to Singapore, and I can't wait.
Absolutely, and we will definitely chat after the fight as well. I promise.
Of course.
Talk to you soon, okay?
Take care. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.